Hi, I'm Kelly. As a life coach, I've noticed that the work I do with people isn't about their relationships or their jobs. It isn't about their kids or even how to find a way to get all the laundry done. All the work we do together centers around finding the answer to one simple question. What does it mean to live a fulfilled life? Join me as I explore this question and more in conversation with others in the Fulfilling Life interviews with me, Kelly Dahl, as your host. Hello, it's Kelly, and I'm here today with Shannon Kinney-Duh, talking about living a fulfilled life. Shannon, I'm so happy to have you here today. You have been such an inspiration to me since you released your first run of your e-course, Inside Out, which I was a part of back in January of 2009. So you have been in my life since then and a source of inspiration and grounding and just a lot of beautiful things. So I thank you for that, and I thank you for being here today to talk about fulfillment. So I would love for you to start by telling the viewers a little bit about who you are and the work that you do.
Oh, thank you, Kelly. I know it's so fun that we get to talk finally in person after almost 3 years. I can't believe it. Well, I am the mother to 2 little boys, and I spend most of my days with them. I have a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old, and I've been able to work my schedule around their schedule. So I created a space called freespiritlife.com. And it's a place of inspiration and celebration of life, really. It's a place where I can write about my life journey. I usually write about creativity and personal wellness and mindful living. And it's just a wonderful space for us all to connect, to find our true selves. And so I write and I teach yoga, and then I incorporate my love for writing and art and yoga and meditation in some e-courses that I offer. The one you mentioned, Inside Out, A Creative Adventure of Self-Discovery. And then my newest one that's going on now is Outside In, and it's more going within, and it's called A Return to Stillness. So that's kind of what I do, and I love doing it.
Well, I can speak as somebody who has benefited from your work that you really do weave all those things together in such a way to help women connect to their inner voice through tools that are incredibly powerful. So today we're talking about living a fulfilled life, which is such a tiny topic, right?
Yeah.
It's a pretty big question, and it's really a guiding question for the way that you live your life. I see that. So I would first love to hear just what do you think of when you think of what it means to live a fulfilled life?
Wow, yeah, it is a heavy question. The first thing I want to say is really to live a fulfilled life. It's about knowing that we're all different, and we're all on a different path. And what's right for me in my path is different for what's right for you on your path. And I think that's important because I think so often, I know for me, I used to always look out there and compare myself to that person and always ask, what's wrong with me, And when I started to really learn that my path is different and my path to a fulfilled life is different than her way and his way, that was key for me. To live a fulfilled life to me is really about accepting wherever you are in your life in this moment. Because we get so caught up in the past, which is that's our doubt and our regret of what happened back then. Or we get caught up in our worry, and that's the future stuff. And so all that mental clutter really keeps us from being here in this moment. And when we can start to settle and clear some of that and accept and embrace what's happening, no matter what in our life in this moment, I feel like, that's when we really start living that fulfilled life, because even if it's not how you want it to be, you connect with that space that you learn and see the clarity that you can change it, that you're the creator of your own life. And that puts you in the driver's seat of your life. You end up not listening to the shoulds and the can'ts and the could have but I can't anymore. It's really about accepting what is and clearing that clutter to get to those messages that are in our heart. All of us have it. We just sometimes can't hear it. So getting that clarity that you are the creator of your own life, and whatever it is that you want, you can make happen. And to me, that's what living a fulfilled life really is. It's about being here right now on your path.
Wonderful, wonderful. I love that idea of being completely and totally present to the moment that you're in, instead of, I liked how you described the future as being the worry and the past being the doubt, and those things are there, but what's most important is the here and the now, and that is where the fulfillment is. And allowing the space to hear those voices that come from you, not from those other places, but from here. And that is fulfillment, and that is a fulfilled life. And so for you, Shannon, what does that look like? What are the tools and the things that you do so that you are here and now and living that fulfilled life?
Well, another great question. What do I do? Probably because I'm in this place right now of really focusing on how to stay connected to that heart, how to stay connected to center. What helps me stay connected to a fulfilled life is stillness. It's implementing a moment of stillness in my life each and every day. And so what that looks like, it might be a yoga class, it might be a walk in nature, it may be writing in my journal. But more often than not, because I'm a busy mom of 2 young kids, it's finding stillness in the middle of life. It's in the middle of all that. So one practice that really helps me ground in the day is, luckily my kids are at that age they can get out of bed themselves, and they wake up earlier than I'm ready to jump out of bed. And so a lot of times they, get down and start playing trains and cars, and I close my eyes and I use that time to get ready for the day. It might simply be just enjoying a few more quiet moments to myself, but a lot of times I might ask myself, what do I need in this moment, or what do I need from this day? And a lot of times a word or a phrase will come up, and that's what I try to return to when I'm, running out the door and feeling crazed again and feeling stressed in my life. I try to return to that word or that phrase or that moment of stillness that really does help me remember what truly matters in my life and help me not get so caught up in the outward distractions. So anything I can do to limit getting caught up in distractions. And for me, it's that stillness. It's, it's alone time too. I've learned that I'm kind of an introvert by nature. I love to be with people. I love to socialize and connect, but I need my downtime. I need that alone, quiet, creative space where I can write and read and look through magazines and enjoy a good cup of coffee by myself. And that time to recharge helps me know that creativity and writing and all those things I need to make space for. And they're important. They're valuable to me because it makes me feel like I can give more and be who I really am in the world. So I make space and make sure I get that in my life to keep me feeling fulfilled.
Yeah, and I love that what you're speaking to is something that's really very simple, and I think it's really easy to get caught up in, oh well, it needs to be like an hour-long meditation practice, or I need to have these words written out and hanging on my wall and painted beauty. We can complicate it so easily, but really just lying in bed for a few extra minutes and thinking, I love that question, what do I need from the day to day? Mm-hmm. Choosing a word or two or a phrase that you can then return to over and over again. Right. Because that's really enough.
Exactly. Absolutely. I think that thinking it has to be done in a certain way just keeps us from doing anything, it keeps us in that place of resistance. And so it's when you're chopping vegetables, it's when you're feeling the joy of making dinner or sitting at a red light. I mean, there's lots of opportunities to find a moment. And really what I'd love to add is, it might just be taking a deep inhale and a deep exhale. Because when you connect to your breath, wow, I mean, there's nothing more present, right, than your own breath. That's it. So it just gets you back to, okay, this is here and now. This is where I'm at. I may be freaking out about what's going on, what's coming up, or I might be still fretting about all those things back there. But really, I'm here. I'm here right now. And that's it. If you could just take, 3 seconds to take a nice deep breath in and out, that could be the start of your stillness.
Yeah, and I think going back to what you started with too, of that idea of being able to listen to what you really need and then giving it to yourself, so that you are in alignment with what it means for you to be living a fulfilled life, so that it's coming from here and not from outside of you, and those gentle little reminders to get you back to that place throughout the day. Now there are those moments, right, that we get off that path, and our kids are very similar age, so it's like, why do you have to be touching each other? Keep your hands to yourself, and wait, I didn't have a plan for dinner tonight. So I know as a busy mom and a working mom, there have to be times that you get off of that path. So what are the things that get in your way or challenge you from living a fulfilled life?
Yeah, I don't know what you're speaking about. We are very peaceful here.
You live in this perfect,
oh my gosh, yeah,
with the woods behind you. It's all very serene and beautiful.
Exactly. Yes, all my children, they don't even make a sound. We just walk in the woods. Everything's all, loving and kind. I know, I laugh at some of the things I catch myself saying as a mom. I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's like, just get out of the car, it's just long, Oh my gosh, yeah. So yes, of course. Life is full of its challenges, and especially, you don't have to be a mom to know that, but when you have young children too, they are a great reminder in how to let a lot of stuff go, right? Mm-hmm. And so when I get knocked off course, a lot of times it's because I've just filled my life up. When I get distracted with too much, when I overcommit and I overconsume and I fill our life with too much going on, well, that's going to knock me off of feeling grounded for sure. And, sleep is a huge piece for me. If I don't get enough sleep, I know the days that I'm snapping and irritable and frustrated are the days that I stayed up too late or got woken up through the night or whatever. And, so I'm really, really trying to put more value on going to bed earlier and getting that good sleep, because I just feel more grounded even with that. And it makes me want to eat better, and it makes me want to not fill up our life, So I've become really, really mindful about our family's energy and what drains our energy, so I really make sure that we do our activities in the morning usually, because we all tend to get a lull right around lunchtime, and we always make space for quiet time to recharge. And another piece to that is, if I've had a day where we might have some appointments or a big social outing, I almost always try to have the next day be a day we stay home. I mean, a lot of times we do jammy day. We don't get in the car. We get out outside. We get into those woods, because that slower pace helps me get back on track, and helps me, again, hear those messages that our heart is guiding us to say, you don't have to do it all. You are enough. You are giving enough. You are a good mom. You don't have to go this and that and do all these lessons and everything to prove that, and it's hard. It's hard to get there, and it's hard to, feel courage to live that way, to live with less, to do less. So I don't know if I'm going off track from your question, but that's a big piece for me when I do of course, I get stressed. And I mean, even before you called, my husband was here helping me. I'm like, I don't know how to get my Skype up, It's like, it's just, we do those things because we're human. Right. And so my practice with the stillness talk and the breathing and all that, it's about trying to find that peace, because I truly do believe our heart is peace. We have that wisdom to be peace-filled right here. And we are so out here. We're so distracted. Yeah. And of course, how could we not be? Mom, can I have more milk? And, it's like, right? Thank goodness we have bathrooms with locks on them, right? For a couple minutes. But seriously, life is all that stuff, and it's up to us to clear the clutter as much as we can, to hear that wisdom in our hearts. And that, to me, is when I feel like I'm living the most fulfilled life, when I can return to that place and know it's there to fall back on, and to know also that when I fall off, I'm not a bad person. I don't have to talk terribly to myself and say, how could you are such a, I did that for so many years. I was never enough for myself. And that's probably been my biggest practice, as you know, starting with Inside Out. And why I started it was to learn how to change our thoughts and not be so horrible to ourselves. And the kinder I speak to myself, and the less I judge what I do and who I am, the less I judge everyone else, the less I judge the world, and the more fulfilled I feel. And that has been a huge life changer for me.
Yeah, I really resonate so much and love what you said about all the stuff too, and the whether it's the busyness or actual stuff, and we have a lot of messages coming at us that it's good to have those things, but yet slowing down and having those jammy days and returning to what feeds you as well as your children and your husband. And by doing that, it keeps you on that fulfilled path and feeling good about what you're doing. Which, I mean, with the work that you're doing, you're sharing it with others too. And I like that idea as well of the peace being in your heart. And when you get quiet and listen and do what's right for you, that peace can just come out to you and to the world and your family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you know what I would like to add too, the thing that really also helped with my path of, and continues to help, because this will be an ongoing path to fulfillment, is community. When I did start building a community, whether it's local or online, or it's a really good, dear, safe friend, it doesn't matter how big it is. But when you've got I personally had to find a place that I could feel safe and supported and feel that sense of compassion. And it taught me that I am not alone. I had this idea that something was wrong with me. And I think so many of us, even if we don't really think we do, if we really start to catch what we say throughout the day to ourselves, and repeat over and over, we start to believe that something is wrong with us. And getting to that community where you can feel vulnerable, where you can share, even when you feel scared to, if it's in a safe space, wow, that's huge to learn that you aren't, not only are you not alone, but we're all the same. We are all having the same struggles, and we're all connected in different ways, and that is a big, big piece. So I would just encourage anyone who's feeling overwhelmed and, how do you get past the challenges of life? And, there's lots of avenues. But if you're being called to find community, to reach out and find where that is for you, because that changed my life. That's how you came into my life, and so many other amazing people. And how I learn every single day. I learn from you, and learn from sharing, and learn from facing the fear of being myself, and I think that's a big piece.
There's such an incredible strength in community and that connection piece, and knowing that I hear you saying that your family needs jammy days, and I can be like, oh, so the other night when I chose not to bring my kids up to the elementary school, my son's in first grade now in public school, they were having an ornament and cookie decorating thing with K through 8th grade kids in the cafeteria. I'm like, at 7 o'clock at night, that is going to be a complete nightmare for my family, and we're going to choose to stay home. I'm not going to even bring it up. And, there's that piece of, I see the neighbors walking up to go do it and think, oh, maybe I should be doing that with my family. But no, what's best for my kids and for me too is to not go to that, and to say that won't serve our needs right now. Maybe another year it will. Maybe on a different day it will. But listening to what I need and what my kids need first, and honoring that. But I know too that connection in that community, to hear you say that, helps me be able to say it as well.
Absolutely. Because otherwise you're just alone with your thoughts. And, I find that it is hard sometimes to find people even in your community, in your actual school, right, and you see all the other parents doing it. It's very easy to then turn and say, well, shouldn't we be doing it too? Am I keeping my child from this great experience? And,
right.
And I love what you said about it's what will serve our needs at this time. That's what mindfulness is. That's what mindful living is. That's what living a fulfilled life in the present moment really is to me. It's to say, I'm not going to do it because she's doing it. I'm going to do what's serving our needs. What is going to enrich us right now instead of deplete us? And that's why I use the word energy. It's anything, but it's, if I'm feeling, I know that 3 social outings in a row, or we're just by the end, we're all going to be having fits. I want to cry too. It's like, I cannot take anymore. I'm good for like 3 hours, and then I am done. I want to go rest. And, I'm not lazy because of it, but it's finding that I'm just so much better when I am filling up and filling up my heart and soul, and not depleting it. And that's just takes so much practice. I think living a fulfilled life takes commitment. It's dedication. It's knowing that you want to be the creator of your life, and that you want to live the life you are meant to live. And it takes practice, and it's a daily commitment.
Yeah, and it part of putting this interview series together and thinking about this is that first question of being able to answer for yourself, what does it mean to live a fulfilled life? is the first most important step. Taking the time to ask what fulfills you. So then all of those pieces will connect back and keep you living a fulfilled life. And it certainly isn't easy. It's practice. It's lifelong, right? But
Right, absolutely. And yeah, going back to that stillness, if you ask yourself that question, but you're still going, you might answer based on someone else's idea of a fulfilled life. You know, I think so often from childhood or those false thoughts that we attach to and then believe for so many years, we might think what we are living as a fulfilled life by accumulating all that stuff, all those things we see that we want, and we are living, we're making that 6-figure paycheck, and we're working full time, and we've got the perfect daycare, and we've got everything set in place, and this is a fulfilled life. And if it is, and you're truly happy, and you're feeling blissful and peace-filled, then absolutely it is for you. But if you never find that time to get quiet and to hear, clear some of that stuff and just stop going, you may not know that how you're answering is really more in your head than in your heart.
Yeah.
And so that's the biggest daily practice I think we're talking about is to make that space for quiet yoga, getting out in nature, taking a bath, being alone with your own thoughts so you can clear the false ones and get to what your heart's really trying to say.
Or even just locking yourself in the bathroom for a couple minutes, right? To think, what do I need right now?
Out your phone. You have to turn the phone off, get off Facebook, and then lock the door. And then just, for whatever reason, my kids are really good. They just know if I'm in there or if the shower is awesome. If they hear the shower, I don't even have to get in. If they hear it, they're like, seriously, I don't want to waste water, but man, it feels great. I don't think I've ever really not gotten in because that's even better. But seriously, that is the place to do it. You have to do it within your life or you're just going to keep telling yourself you don't have time for it. You got to make time for it in your life for sure.
And I feel confident in saying that your kids just get it already. With you as a mom, they know because I'm sure they're already doing it in their 5-year-old and 2-year-old ways of connecting to what they need, and having you as a model for that, so they know, oh, Mom, I hear the shower. That's her time to reconnect, and my time right now is putting these train tracks together.
Absolutely. That's so true. And then, of course, we hear it all the time that our kids are our greatest teachers. Mm-hmm. And that truly is. My whole life changed, of course, when I had kids, but they are my model too. If their energy's going down or if kids have been playing here for a while and my oldest goes to his room, that's his sign. He's done. He may not have the words to say, oh, I'm an introvert and I need to recharge here. Right. Saying in his way, if I can read his signs, I don't have to make him play and do all that. He's modeling for me. Okay, he's needing to recharge. He's needing that quiet time. And kids, if we can pay attention to that, they are the greatest teachers. So
definitely. All right. Well, Shannon, it has been such a pleasure. I feel like I could talk to you about this for hours and hours. Your insights are wonderful, and I relate to so much of what you say. I know the viewers are just going to love watching and listening to you talk about this topic. Tell us again where we can find you online.
Well, my blog is at afreespiritlife.com, and you can see everything there, and connect with me on Twitter and Facebook. And let's just keep the conversation going. This has been wonderful, Kelly. I'm so grateful that you gave me this opportunity.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much for being here. And I will have all your links so people can find you and learn more about what you have to say and take in all the beauty that it is. So thank you so much for being here today, and enjoy the rest of those woods behind you later today.
Thank you. All right. Well, cheers.